find the ideal man and you fall in love and you have a white picket fence and you have 3 perfect children and you live happily ever after.
When you start feeling the sweat beating up, when you start feeling hot, that should be a big red flag. There it is. That's the quicksand of emotion. And you don't want to step into it. You want to pull yourself back. The path.
It's about connection. In today's day and age, you can argue about whether social media is fake connection or real connection, but I will tell you this, it is the predominant form of connection.
Some of you don't even realize you have unfinished business. You need to go back where you left off with a new perspective. Go back to the gym. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to the business. Go back to the relationship. Go back to the burning building. You have unfinished business. All you got to do is show up with a new game plan and a new perspective.
Somebody else's story, the old story was, you work really hard in school, you excel in college, you go to work for a big corporation, and you move up through the ranks until you're the president or chairman of the company, and you become successful and respected throughout life. These are some old stories. Obviously, the stories that we hear today of what people's lives are supposed to be like are completely diverse. We no longer have these little archetypes, but one archetype still seems to remain. And that archetype is, in order for you to really feel like you're enough, many people believe they have to achieve an enormous amount. They may do it in different ways. They may do it by building a company and taking it public when they're 27 or 25 years old, or they find and create a new technology, or they become a very special doctor. But we live in a culture in the West that teaches people that you're not enough unless you do something really special and unique, and we define special and unique in interesting ways.
The warpath. Path of war. Moving toward a battle. Fight towards war. The actual war against our nation's enemies, or the war against my own weaknesses. Preparing. And sharpening my sword and honing my skills and maintaining the unmitigated daily discipline in all things.
A school teacher is not special and unique. A mother who stays home with her children day and night, sculpting their minds, their bodies, their souls, and their future is not special. We live in a world today where we treat teachers like they're nobody and pay them accordingly, and we wonder why our children seem to have challenges in learning and growing or being engaged in school. We spend thousands of dollars on some item like a computer, but what we look at overall we invest in for the teacher and for that person who's the personal connection with them is so small. We live in a society where many women look down and say, well, you're just a housewife, you're just a mother. See, some of the pain we have in our society is not because there's one right or one wrong approach, but because we try to make everybody fit into some particular approach to life. Here's what's going to make you happy or make you unhappy in life. It's real simple. Let's do a quick test. If you're in a situation right now where you look at your life, I know there's an area of your life that you probably feel pretty darn good about.
Where does it lead? It can lead to war. That's fine. In fact, I am waiting and I am ready. Because the warpath is a war against weakness, and so it leads to strength. It's a war against ignorance, and so it leads to knowledge. It's a war against confusion, and so it delivers understanding. The warpath leads to control and leads to ownership of your life. And that is the warpath.
And one of the things we all need to think about, stop passing judgment on this stuff, man. Just look at the truth of how it's being used. Go where the attention is. If people are using technology and you're like, yeah, but I don't think it's real connection, someone else is going to eat your lunch because they get how to talk to people in the lingua franca, okay? People today, consumers today, my mom and dad are on Facebook. So leverage technology to connect. All right, don't build or don't market, build a community. This is so important. Social media is going to allow you to have real, meaningful relationships with your customers. I will tell you one very fast. In the very early days of Quest, when all of us had to go out and actually make the bars, I'm out making bars, our chief marketing officer's out making bars, like everybody's out there.
I believe that you will win in the end as long as you don't settle. When you settle, you ruin the finale. When you settle, you ruin the final scene. We are all tuned into your movie. We got our popcorn ready, waiting for your grand finale. How is your movie going to end? As long as there is breath in your body, there is a chance. Sometimes discouragement happens. Sometimes fatigue happens. But one thing I know about life, when you get tired, you gotta wait for that second wind. When that second wind kicks in, whoa, you might be tired right now, but that second wind is kicking in. I came here right now today to be your second wind, and don't you ever settle. Why? Because I don't want you to have regrets.
You've got unfinished business. You have unfinished business. You got work to do. Perspective is everything. Let's go. I need you to hear me loud and clear. How do you see this thing is everything. You cannot change the past, but you can change your perspective about it. You got to see this thing differently. Stop complaining about the divorce. Stop complaining about the job loss. Stop complaining about the relocation.
There would be periods of time where we wouldn't respond to somebody on Facebook, but this one woman started responding. And we thought, wow, that's so weird. Like, did somebody create a fake account? Like, is that one of you guys? And everyone's like, no, man, we didn't do that. That's a real person. And she would tell people like, oh, don't worry, I'm sure they'll get back to you quickly. They're a really great company. And we were so, and this is like early 2010. We're like, what is happening? And so we reached out and said, hey, we want to put you on payroll. She's like, I don't want to be on payroll. And I'm like, whoa, okay, now I'm getting freaked out. Like, what do you want? And she was like, I just want you to continue to deliver a service. I'm a nutritionist and I use your bars with a lot of people. I just want to make sure that you're around. So we developed this really cool relationship with her. We all got to know her. She held us to a standard. She was not always nice. She was always fair, but she wasn't always nice. If we were doing something poorly from a product standpoint, like weights and measures will let you ship product that's heavy. You just can't ship light.
Your viewpoint is your advantage. Thank you for breaking up with me. Here's what you did. You opened up another opportunity for somebody else to come into my life. Thank you for firing me. You gave me an opportunity to explore entrepreneurship. I'm not bitter, I'm better. Perspective is what changes the game.
You've got to rise above how you feel. It's going to be up to you to take authority over your mind and your emotions. And a lot of times we get frustrated because things seem to be moving too slowly. And when that happens, we start to question whether or not what we really want will ever happen for us. Well, it will happen if you refuse to allow fear and impatience to deprive you of what you deserve. It will happen if you don't allow moments of frustration to guide your decisions.
Think about all the people you know in life and say, man, I wish I didn't quit on school. I hate I dropped out. I wish I didn't get divorced. I hate I gave up. I wish I didn't quit the football team because I could have been in the NFL. I wish I didn't quit. I wish I acted better. I wish I didn't get kicked out of school.
Everybody wants increase in abundance and lifestyle change. And new zip codes and new area codes, but you only read once a week. And you only work out once or twice a month. And so the reason why you don't have what it is that you seek, the reason why what's in your head is not in your hands, it's not your reality. It's because your perspective opposes your potential. You don't have it because you don't see the value in it. If you believe you've been called to be the difference maker, the game changer, the disruptor, the person that comes into a room and commands the atmosphere,